Hey, Kwiin and Kanna, I'm gonna be playing your stage today. Okay, let's back up a little bit. For everyone else who's not Kwiin and Kanna, Kwiin reached out to me about a few days before the OLDC deadline, and because I put myself out there, and I've been talking with Kwiin a little bit in public, a little bit in DMs. And I said, hey, Kwiin, if you want somebody to, go play your stage and stream and hop on a video call so I can just tell you what I think while you're still working on it. And so Kwiin took me up on that offer, and I did a quick run-through of his stage for him. So this is not a completely blind run-through. This is the only stage in the OLDC that I have previewed before. So my initial blind, so my plan to do a blind run initially is, it's not completely blind. I'm sure some things are different, but I've seen a lot of this stage before. So as I'm going through and you're seeing my initial reactions, just keep that in mind. Okay. That happened. Oh, also, for those in the audience, this is a collaboration between Kwiin and Kanna, and so what's happening is, let me turn my brightness up a little bit. So what's happening is, my understanding is that Kanna basically designed one half, and then Kwiin designed the other, and then Kwiin stitched them together. So, yeah. Also, I'm not super excited about the way that the OLDC supports emblems because I want to switch characters on the fly, and that breaks emblems because that turns on cheats. And I do like, I'm not talking very much. I do like my Whirlwind Shield better. Okay, not going here yet. This is one route. These are large blocks. I guess maybe it's too early in the morning for me to give a good commentary. My strategy right now for the OLDC is that I'm trying to have one video uploading at all times. So I'm gonna do... Yeah, so I'm recording early in the morning so that I can have this uploading while I'm doing other stuff. That may not be useful information. And also, this is probably a bad for, because my format is to do one play that's supposed to be blind, where I'm just kind of reacting to everything before trying to give some kind of commentary, but I've basically already seen most of this before, so this may not be useful. Or this may trying to do this as a commentary-less blind first run is just not going well. So, what I will say, does this work? I guess it does. Okay, so I just wasn't hitting that with enough speed. Okay, Gosh, I guess I am going to switch characters. Alright, let's pull out Knuckles. this! Come here. It's kind of climbable. What's the point? Like, I feel like I want to stand on this, not... I don't feel like that's how that section was meant to be played. This is so bizarre. Okay, I'm assuming this is a Kanna design. Kanna, I don't think this section works. Because I don't... I'm gonna try to hold on to this and we'll see what happens. Because this, for some reason, as this platform moves, it doesn't take Knuckles with it. And so I feel like what's actually happening is that I'm standing on the edge. Am I supposed to be playing this section as Amy instead? Like, I don't get what's going on. Like, this doesn't feel like a Knuckles section. And I guess let me go play this with Amy for comparison, just because because it feels like this feels like interesting gameplay. Trying to do this with Knuckles doesn't feel interesting. I guess I'm just gonna stay Amy because I like the high jump height. And open jailbreaks. Kwiin! 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 We talked about this. Fix your tags. Fix your tags. How do I get up there? Okay, that's where I came from. I don't... So these being tangible doesn't really work for me. I just... And this is just not really an ergonomic experience in terms of, like... Because I feel like I can't tell whether I'm supposed to be platforming on the fluffy stuff on the sides or whether I'm supposed to be bouncing on the clouds. And this just feels like I have this platform that I want to run along, and then I just have this here, and I just want to walk through it, right? And I mean, they look great from a distance, right? But when I'm up close, it's just like, what is going on? So, I don't know. And I feel like for me, this question of trying to platform on all the stuff is like what I really like. But like, I feel like I'm Amy, I'm the high jump character, and I can't get on this stuff. So I'm starting to feel like I'm out of the stage bounds, and I'm out of what has been, you know, created as playable. And I just with this kind of okay, so I'm coming into a route from the back. Right. I should probably find that route eventually, or maybe I won't. I don't know. I need to go up that slope. Maybe I don't. Come on! Alright, whatever. Nope. I guess I still do want to go up the slope. Nope, I can't go up the slope. Because I'm a... well... that would be rude. Okay, yeah, and I don't... So this slope is like... I just feel like with Amy, I'm just barely getting the height that I need. I feel like that's designed to be spun up, but I feel like Amy's just having a hard time there. Oh! Okay. So those are springs. Can I break these? Yes. Okay. So, this level doesn't feel particularly longer than what it was when I was testing it with Kwiin the first time. So, gosh, that's already 15 minutes. Let me go back to the stage. I really don't want to have to spend time on camera figuring out which bubble this is. This is not the right bubble. Why am I doing this in the middle of recording? I'm gonna have to make a formal complaint to whoever designed this hub world that this is not intuitive. Oh! It's because I have the HUD off. That explains why I'm not seeing the menu. Alright, I'm turning the HUD back on. Okay, this is the one I wanted. Okay, now it's time for a Knuckles run. Okay, so... Okay, so I'm going to repeat some of the things I already said, the voice calls you've already heard, but I'm going to say them anyway. I think the sense of scale here works. I think that the sense of the scale of texturing works. I think that this aesthetic works. I think that the texturing direction here is fine. You know, there's... I mean, to some extent, there's always an eye for detail that you can always train yourself on more in terms of how do you make an area more aesthetically compelling. But I think that basically the visual design style here works fine. I think the scale works fine. I think that... to some extent, I will say that during this section, I feel like it's a lot of... I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe there should be a little bit more micro-platforming, because I feel like it's a flat section, and then you got a platforming section, and a flat section, and a platforming section. And I just died, of course I did. Okay. And so one of my thoughts is that it might be good to have the platforming a little more... so... Because I feel like right now, this is flat, and then I don't have to interact with anything, and I can choose to hop on this stuff on the side, but I don't have to. And I feel like I want like 1 or 2 jumps happening in the middle here before I get to this interesting platforming section. Because this is more like a, hey, you're going through the gauntlet, and you've got some very particular challenge that, you know, and then you get rewarded by the windshield. That's fine. I like this section, but I want a little bit more, and my own personal taste is just that I just don't like jumping over spikes. I just don't think it's interesting. It's not wrong, it's just not my preference. Oh, I need to take the low route. This room works. I think it's... I think that the doubling back actually works really well because I think that you see and you understand the platforms above you, and then when you get to the spring, then you kind of know where you're going. So I do think this room works really well. I personally prefer the wind shield to the forest shield, I guess is the name. Oh, and something I will say. I like to have my springs articulated on these tiny little raised pads, just so that you can kind of see them from a distance. Because I feel like when I'm looking at this and I'm standing over here, I feel like it doesn't look like much, and maybe there's this subtle color map applied to the entire stage. And so I just feel like if this was raised on a tiny little pad, I feel like that might make it more visible. So... yeah. And one of my problems with this stage, or at least with Kanna's section of the stage right now, so I feel like there's, you get to these sections, right, where it's like you have a 4-way split, and then one of the splits is actually a dead end. And I feel like I want... And I'm okay with this, you know, because that's kind of just a natural consequence of the boxy architecture, right? You pick some corners, you articulate the corners, but I guess I want to have this wall pulled in a little bit closer so that this doesn't look like a possible path. So that this is more up against me, so that I can, so like if I see it, I want the water right about here. And that's just because I just feel like I'm looking at this, and as I'm doing my wayfinding, this looks like another route, and it's not. So again, same comments over here. I want these to feel less like routes that I'm... well, I guess this is fine, but I do want this to be pulled in. Already commented on this. I need to go find the other route. Do I really have to restart the stage to go to the other route? I really don't want to have to restart this stage, and I'm going to have to fight it in the hub world! I hate this hub world so much. Like I'm literally like, it would be faster to just climb up this than try to find the stage in the hub world. Okay. At first I was confused about the spring, and now I'm like, now I understand that it allows for backtracking, so I like it more. So this is something that I mentioned to Kwiin and Kanna when I was testing the stage initially. This actually leads to an alternate route, and I don't think this is good design because I think that it's not clear that you have this... Does it lead to an alternate route? I thought it did! This looks like where I just was. Okay, maybe I'm gonna take back my words. Where's the other route that I'm missing? Where's the other route that I'm missing? So I'm gonna go down here because I didn't do that yet this sitting. And here's some springs. And here's some more springs. Okay, have I not climbed over here yet? No, this is... Okay. So after this, I'm going to do one more run because I think there's an Amy route that I noticed that I need to try to take. Kwiin said he put in some kind of Knuckles thing. Maybe I already saw that. Okay. Alright. Let's find this stupid stage again. This isn't it, is it? Here it is. Okay. And one of my things right now is that I'm kind of at a point where the stage is fine. It's not like there's anything particularly, you know, bad with this stage. I mean, it has, you know, good color design, interesting textures. I think the textures are in some places a little too busy, right? Like, I think that this texture probably has more contrast than it needs. So I think that pulling this down to something a little bit less contrasty might be a helpful thing. And I think that maybe a different floor texture here might be good. But I think the aesthetic design works. I think the sense of scale works. Yeah, I should probably just leave my HUD on. I don't think there's anything bad about this stage, but I'm like looking for... I'm trying to figure out what am I looking for that would make the stage even better. I am not playing with... Probably need to load that control. Well, I'm already in a modified game, but I'm also not in the menu. Okay, this was the Amy path that I thought I noticed. Alright, did this get fixed? This was a big pain point for me when I was playing with Kwiin and Kanna. Yeah, I think that the stage is fine. I think the stage works. My thing is I'm just trying to figure out, okay, well, what would make it from good to great? Okay. Oh, this is the alternate route. This is the alternate route? This doesn't make any sense. Okay. But I need to do the alternate route. Okay. This was the exit I went through before. This is a cute little dead end. Okay. Okay. Because yeah, I feel like the level's fine. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just, like, I don't. Okay. Oh, the texture alignment here on this particular line def is strange. It's worth mentioning. I get, yeah, my one comment is just the overall flatness in terms of I feel like it's just, there's a lot of open space, and the open space doesn't really feel like it's very filled. Which I've kind of said before. And it also feels like, in a lot of Kanna's, so for Kanna's section, I feel like there's a lot of, or maybe not Kanna's section, but I feel like for these big blocky things, I feel like these big blocky hallways, I feel like there's not much memorable going on here. So in some ways it feels like I'm kind of going through a part of the stage I've already seen, even if it's not literally a part of the stage I've already seen. Okay, so it was just the alternate route. Okay. And so... And one of the things is that I feel like the sense of scale in the outdoor areas works better than the sense of scale in the indoor areas. Because in the indoor areas, like from a proportion standpoint, I feel like it works fine, but from a gameplay standpoint, I feel like the indoor areas are too empty. So that's my main takeaway, right? I feel like the outdoor areas, I feel like this sense of scale works in terms of both aesthetics and the gameplay, and I feel like the indoor areas are just too bland. And maybe that's just because there's more height differentiation in the outdoor areas. Maybe it's because I'm jumping more often. I'm not totally sure. But that's my feeling. Okay. And I think that's all I really want to say for this stage. So, alright, Kwiin, I'm going to catch you on Discord. Later.